Most people trying to go AI first right now are going to waste the next year of their life. I know because I almost did. Now, this video is about how I actually got ahead with AI, not the version people sell you in a course, not the version that gets made into a YouTube thumbnail with a Lambo in it, right? The real one, which looked nothing like what I expected when I first dove into this. The way most people think this goes is learn the tools, implement the tools, profit. Pick up N8N, build some automations, maybe throw Lovable at a project, watch some YouTube tutorials, and now you're an AI first operator. That's the pitch, and a lot of people are selling it. And the problem is, though, it doesn't work long term. And I know firsthand because I bought into it over a year ago. Spending weeks learning surface level tools built by people who don't fully understand the systems underneath them doesn't make you AI first. It makes you dependent on workarounds that break, don't scale, and cost more to fix than if you just hired someone. Real AI first isn't about the tools, it's about understanding the system well enough that you can build anything on top of it, and getting there, it takes longer than anyone tells you. I took odd jobs to keep the lights on while I figured this thing out. This wasn't some comfortable learning journey. It was a decision to learn it right or not at all. And somewhere in that process, I went from copying tutorials to building things those tutorials don't even know are possible yet. Here's what that year actually looked like. All right, so let's talk about how the wrong path, it can cost more than you think. Because the first thing I did was what everyone does. I found the tools people were talking about, watched the YouTube videos, started building an N8N, played with Lovable, and for a while it felt like progress. But every time that I tried to push forward, every time a real business problem showed up, I hit a ceiling because those tools, they're built for demos. They're not really built for production. The people teaching them on YouTube are teaching you how to make something that looks like it works, not something that actually runs a business. And the worst part wasn't the wasted time. It's that if you go and sell that to a client, we're almost setting them up to fail. And I personally wasn't willing to do that. So I stopped, threw out what I thought I knew, and went deeper. Going into the terminal, it changed everything for me. When I stopped using the web apps and started working directly in the terminal, actually writing code using Claude Code, Gemini, Codex, building real projects from scratch in VS Code or whatever code editor, something shifted. I stopped being limited by what someone else's tool could do, and I started only being limited by what I understood. And the more I understood, the more I realized how shallow most of the advice online actually is. People burning API credits on MCP servers that do nothing, writing massive spec documents just to build a simple app, following frameworks created by people who've never actually shipped anything at scale. And when you understand how the system actually works, AI, you stop following the rules that don't make sense. Not because you're cutting corners, because I'm cutting corners, because I know which corners exist for a reason and which ones are just cult behavior that we see repeated online. But here's the thing that nobody says out loud about taking the slower, harder path. So it takes longer than anyone tells you. Every person selling an AI course or service has an incentive to make this look fast. Set it up in a weekend, deploy in 30 minutes, results in 7 days. That's not how any of this works. Building systems that actually run your business while you're not there, systems that handle leads, follow up, qualify, respond, manage workflows, generate content for you, that takes real time to get right. Not because it's complicated, because getting it wrong is expensive. And most people are in too much of a hurry to notice. I took the time, took odd jobs to pay bills while I learned this thing. I kept going. I didn't launch something half-baked just to say I launched. And now I'm building things that most of the people who taught me early on, they can't even build them anymore. Which brings me to the thing that separates AI first from AI assisted. So AI first means it runs when you don't. AI assisted means your team's using ChatGPT. Someone opens a tab, types a prompt, and gets an answer. That's a tool. Where AI first means the system runs whether you show up today or not. Leads still come in and get handled. Follow-ups go out. Content gets produced, distributed, scheduled, pushed out. You show up for the stuff that actually needs you and not all the daily ins and outs of, manual, repetitive work. You show up for the calls that require judgment, or the relationships that require trust, the decisions that require context. Everything else, the system, it can handle it. That's the version of AI first that actually separates you from the masses. Not knowing the most tools, not having the fanciest stack, building that works without you and only involves you where we actually matter as people, so we're not wasting our lives. So what does actually going AI first look like? Not theoretically, but practically. Here's exactly how I think about it if I was starting my AI business over today. So how to actually go first, step one is stop thinking about AI as a software you buy and start thinking about it as infrastructure you build. The difference matters. A software is a subscription that someone else controls. Infrastructure is yours. It runs on your terms, plugged into your data, your workflows, your tool stack, whatever. The tool honestly doesn't matter as much as people think. Claude Code, Codex, Gemini, any of the Chinese models, whatever just dropped by the time you watched it, I've used almost all of them. I build inside my own custom harness with AI agents and the models interchangeable. So what matters though is that you're working in a real environment, building real code, not just dragging blocks around in somebody's no code editor on the web app and hoping it holds together when the real business problem shows up, right? That's the shift. And it's not about which AI is best. It's about whether that you're actually building something or just configuring something someone else built. Step two is to map where people are doing like the repetitive cognitive work in your business right now. So not physical work, cognitive work. Reading something, making a simple decision, sending a response. Say a lead comes in, someone reads it, qualifies it, replies. That's cognitive work. An AI agent can do that. Follow-up sequence stalls, someone checks the CRM, it sends a nudge. Cognitive work, agent handles it. Content needs to go out across 4 platforms, someone formats it, captions it, schedules it. That's cognitive work, fully automatable. Every one of those is a system waiting to be built, and once it's built, it runs without you. Step 3 is build the one thing that runs without you before you try to build everything. Now, this is where most people overcomplicate it. They want to automate the whole business on day one. No, pick the highest volume, most repetitive process you have. Lead follow-up is almost always the right starting point for most businesses. Build an agent that handles inbound response, qualifies the lead through conversation, and books the appointments directly to your calendar. No human touches it until the meeting's actually confirmed. That one system changes how the business operates overall, and I've seen it time and time again work in real businesses that I've installed it in. And once you've built one thing that actually works, you understand the pattern, everything else gets faster from there on your future build outs. Look, if you're running a real business and you want to know what this looks like for your specific operation, that's exactly what I do. The link is in the description. Okay. So that's the real year. It's not a highlight reel. It's not a revenue number, a decision to learn this right. Even when it was slow, even when it was uncomfortable, even when every piece of advice online was pointing somewhere else, I stuck through to my guts. I didn't switch tools. I decided to learn it from the ground up, and it's been paying its dividends. The people that I watch who are actually winning right now with AI that are online, they're not the ones who are moving the fastest. They're the ones who are getting the deepest understanding of it. But surprisingly, that gap actually keeps compounding and it's not seeming to close anytime soon. My name's Nolan Grout. If you found this video interesting, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff. I'm genuinely curious what you guys are trying to automate in your businesses right now. What are you trying to have AI handle for you? What kind of systems are you looking to set up? Maybe we can get more into some build outs and stuff. I don't know. Let me know what you want to see. Theory, build outs, anything like that. Demos, leave them in the comments below. My name's Nolan Grout, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.